let's talk Miami, right? As you know, I've done many cities in the US, following this fantastic sport around the place. I have never been to the 305, right? Never been.
This is the first time?
This is the first time.
Oh, dude, you're not going to sleep the rest of the day. Damn, I didn't know. I'm not going to let you sleep, bro. Nah, you know I love you, man. I'm going to kidnap your ass. We're going to wake up tomorrow, bro, somewhere else, man.
I've just been down to South Beach.
No, this is the start of it, but we're...
Awesome.
You know you're my boy, so I'm going to take you all over.
Well, talk to me about...
Interview this guy 48 hours from now. Get his real Miami.
You talk to me about what Miami means to you, because you represent it on that worldwide scale, man. And it seems a real special place in your heart. What does it mean to you?
Miami to me, for starters, it's like a city built by immigrants and minorities, a lot of it. Right? Like a lot of these big buildings that you even see were built by like immigrants or minorities that actually build them physically and put the money on them. Yeah. You know, for different things. We had that cocaine movement where a lot of money came in through Miami and a lot of things got built like that. So the reason why I say this is that this city doesn't like discriminate towards anyone. The city loves hard work. It loves people that are willing to get it and put everything aside, put their life on the line and get it, you know. For example, I've said it a million times with my dad, how he crossed over from Cuba over here to Miami just to chase that American dream, you know. So I always love to tell everybody that's listening, is like, this is the place in the country to come get your American dream. We're like a big city, but with small town politics, you know. We don't have like New York or California. They're gonna tax you out of existence and all this corruptness. Miami is like a place made for the people, by the people, you know. So I love this place. The culture here is amazing.
It feels completely different to anywhere that I've been in America.
Oh yeah, and it only gets better. You'll see, brother. It only gets better, brother.
I don't like it when you've got that twinkle in your eyes, because I know the trouble's about to find you.
No, trouble's not gonna find us, bro. We'll be okay today.
What's it mean for you to be able to represent Miami on a worldwide scale? Because I've heard you speak about it on several interviews. Not even when you're in Miami, when you're away from Miami, it feels like you're representing people whilst you're out doing your thing.
That, you know, it's a city that made me, gave me a lot of context clues on how to handle like myself in life. You know, numerous context clues. I've gotten jumped in and gotten other shit kicked out of me, you know. So when I was young too, so a lot of those things stayed with me throughout my whole life and career, you know, like for example, just to throw it out there because you had a big thing to do with it, the Leon situation, you know, like situations like that have occurred so many times in my life that when that one occurred, it was just like another speed bump on the road. Like, you sure you want to do this, brother? Because you're asking the wrong guy, you know, and so on and so on and so on, that situations that have shaped my life, saved my life, and also got me ready for the cage. So, and long story short, I love the living F out of Miami.
How much has it changed? Has it changed?
Tremendously. And since Corona, it's like a fast forward. Everybody's here after 2019. Everyone's here. And it changed a lot as far as like more people go. A lot more money. We're like one of the financial hubs of the country now, which we weren't even in the top 5 back then. We're projected to be like one of the top financial hubs in the world in a couple of years, you know? So that just changes everything, even infrastructure, everything. But it doesn't change us, the core people at our root, you know. So that's the amazing thing. A lot of money, a lot of business, a lot of promises coming to Miami, but the people ain't changing, you know.
For a kid growing up in Miami now, compared to how you grew up in Miami, how's that different?
I mean, back then, you know, like we didn't have the cell phones. And there wasn't one thing that...
I'm talking from a navigating the street point of view.
Way different, because you can get money so many ways now. It's legal. You be an Uber driver, this and that. So it just felt like it was different, not just worldwide, but in Miami as well, you know, because there's a lot of good, but a lot of also criminal activity. And, you know, I haven't been luck that when I was younger coming up, I wasn't in always the best parts, the best neighborhoods, or around the best people. So,
like every city, there's good, there's bad.
Exactly. Okay. And so my point of view growing up then is a little different than maybe a lot of kids that might grow up in Miami and not experience all that trouble, you know. And it's not that I'm some saint or nothing, but just being in the areas that I was at, there was a lot of trouble that I didn't even ask for and just came across my way, you know, but gave me context clues for the rest of my life. I love the city. It's beautiful. It is. It's still, you make the wrong left, you could be in a bad spot, you know?
Yeah. How's it different for your kids now compared to...
Oh, way different, because I got money, so we in the good side.
That was the whole point, wasn't it?
You couldn't jump. The whole point. You couldn't jump my gate if you tried, you know? I got a big old gate. I got big old dogs. It's, you know, it's way different how they've grown up compared to how I grew up. You know, I moved around a lot, you know. I don't think I've ever said this on tape, but I got asked like 2-3 days, so I remember this. A friend of mine was talking. I used to go into like empty apartments all the time, and I don't know how many chargers I got. I would break into them, like the empty ones, and just freaking camp out until like a real estate agent will come in or something will happen, then we have to like flee and go to the next one. So my experience was way different than like my kids and stuff like that, just to give you like a little context with it, you know?
What was the reason for that?
I was homeless at the time, this and that. I didn't have, you know, the money that I was making, they got a point in my life where it's like, okay, I have to be able to eat, and then I have to, you know, pay gym fees and stuff, because that was the most important thing. And I knew that as long as I did that, I could get to the next phase of my life, because the more I train and stuff, the more money I can make. So I really didn't care where I would stay at. If you had a couch for 1 week, everything was in a bag and stuff like that. And it was like, you remember Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, the show? Like that. I had everything on my shoulder. Wherever I went, that was home, you know, as long as I trained every day. That's all that ever mattered to me.
So now we're in 2025, and we look as we do now, and we have the life that we have now, and we've achieved all the things that we have now. How do you look back, say 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when all these things were happening in your life? How do you reflect on that?
How would I reflect?
Yeah.
Like, how would I talk to like my...
Yeah, how, because that journey's massive, man.
Yeah.
You're talking about having absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? And
definitely the chips are stacked against me. But if I was just to talk to my young self, I'd be like, man, you're a fuck up. You're a disappointment. You're gonna fuck it up in the future. Even as my old self now, just to make sure that he stays highly motivated and fucking getting after it. You know? And even still to this day, as much as I've done, I know it. Nobody knows it like me and my coach. We could have done way more, you know? The lifestyle growing up, the this and that, there's some things that never like really left my system in a way that should have left my system, you know? And it would have just guaranteed more success. But as they say, you could take the kid out of a bad neighborhood or the street, but it's hard to take the street out of the kid.
Of course.
There's a lot of things that got me in trouble, incidences like that. So as much as I did, as far as the fighting goes,
those things
I feel like I could have done more.
Yeah, but those things also made you successful.
Oh, yeah.
That fire. Fire. Where's that fire now? Because obviously people are watching this, and we're chatting about Miami and enjoying just being in Miami. People love watching you fight on a professional level. Where are you at now? Are you going to fight again professionally?
You know, it's a question that I get asked often, and to me, there's just like a couple fights that would make sense that I'll put everything aside, because I make a little bit of money by working, and I get a lot of time to spend with my kids. So now for me to trade back in, now that I've been on this side for so long, and it's like, man, I'm with my kids and I still make money. You know, and the UFC takes very good care of me with the money there. I'm not saying anything they don't, but it's like, I'd have to give up a lot right now.
Yeah.
And for that, it would take the right names. You know, like Leon Edwards' ass. That's the only one right now, I'll tell you, that'll get me to drop everything, go to the gym Monday through Saturday, like there's no tomorrow, and be Leon's ass, you know. The rest of the names, like up and coming great guys, this and that, like, I fought those guys all on through. Every guy, from number 1 to 15, I never dodged a guy, whoever it was, Ultimate Fighter winner, or Damian Maia on a 7-fight win streak, and nobody want to fight this guy, let's go, bring him on. Now I'm 40 years old, so like, do I care to fight the next up and coming thing? Probably not. I care less. Right? There's a lot of fights that, even if they were kind of big names, I'd be like, oh, whatever. I'm just looking for certain marquee big names, you know? And if not, I'm not saying I'm happy with my career, because I always feel I could have done a little bit more, but I did it for a long time too, you know, so the body isn't exactly the same, you know?
No, I get that. But what's not to be happy about, man?
Oh, I'm happy, but it could have been, you know, we could have done things a little different, you know?
But that's maturity and hindsight and things looking back now. Have you had a conversation with the UFC about the possibility of fighting Leon?
Hunter, right? He said, oh, when I'm in Miami, I'm going to take you to dinner, Masvidal. Still hasn't called me to take me to dinner, so I'm hurt, Hunter, on like an emotional level. But it's okay, I still love you, brother. But no, we haven't been able to talk about it. They kind of shut it down initially, and I was like, well, cool, you know where I stand? They're like, no, we might need you for another fight. I was like, there's really isn't many other fights, you know, that I'll take. It's just Leon, Kobe's bitch ass at any moment, something like that, you know. Other than that, kind of chill right now.
But that's MMA.
It's MMA.
You've done boxing.
Done boxing.
You've got the bare knuckle thing. Mate, you've got so many businesses.
Trying to, brother.
Yeah,
it takes
ridiculous.
a lot. It takes a lot to make it in this world, brother.
What's the main focus right now? Is it spending time with your kids? Is that what it is?
That-
and everything else is kind of facilitating that?
Monday through Friday, it's like we got our schedule, you know. So I'm already with my kid. Once they get out of school, we got a couple activities. He's wrestling. He's getting good, man.
Yeah.
He's getting fucking good,
Is
bro.
he mini Masvidal?
He's fucking so athletic and he's mean. He wants to do it. It's like him that wants to do it. So
That's good.
I mean, at his wrestling practice, I work out a lot of times, but a lot of times I just sit there and watch his ass. And there's like nothing to get me to move. I might be on the phone or not, but I'm just watching this guy like evolve. So for me to have to leave all that, that's where the problem is. And that's why it's like, it's hard to get me back in there, you know?
How good's that feeling?
It's the best feeling in the world.
Sat
you know?
watching him develop, learn, get better.
We went to a tournament. There was only one kid in the tournament, and he got pinned and beat twice by the same kid, right? And we talked. We had a nice conversation. I was like, you didn't perform to like even half of your abilities because you let, you know, all the nerves and everything get you. So we worked through it. We kept talking. We kept working, and a big Florida tournament came up, a state championship for rookies, right? So he had 4 matches to win this thing, and he won it. This is just 4 months later. 10. This is just 4 months later of us just working, talking, and he had way more matchups, way better guys, and he beat them all. He actually didn't get scored on. He tech-falled everybody, meaning there was like a 12-point gap for all of them. So that right there was like the craziest thing, like you see, and when we're doing work, so now he's more invested than ever, and it's beyond like a good feeling, you know? Because he literally looks at me as the same way I look at him as like my best friend.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, my dad, I like this wrestling shit. And I don't know why, but my dad knows a lot of it. You know, it's crazy. My dad be showing me shit and it works. So we got like a good bond, you know?
If he turns around and says, Dad, I want to be a fighter,
He's already told me that.
how does it make you feel?
But he wants to box. He doesn't want to
Somebody in that?
Yeah, but it's a lot of head trauma in
Yeah,
that
there
too.
is.
You know?
There is.
Look, it's my little guy, so I never wanted him to fight, you know. Maybe when he turned 6 was the first time he told me, I was like, I curved him. I put him in everything else but boxing. Maybe like 8 months ago.
He's a basketball.
I curved the F out of him, everything. I put him in every program for the whole season and nothing. And until recently, 8 months ago, he brought it up to me again. He's like, Dad, I want to be a boxer and I want you to train me. And this is what I want to do. I don't want to do MMA. And I had him doing wrestling already. He's like, but I want to box. And I was like, if you're serious about this life, because you've seen what I go through, if you're serious about this life, I'm going to make sure we get it done. But boxing is the only thing about boxing I got to explain to you. It's not a game.
No, not at all.
It's not like, you know, oh, I'm tired and then your teammate. No. It's just like you get tired, you're going to get a fucking devastating concussion, bro, because the guys are going to try to kill you on the side. So we've had those talks and the dude just shows up to practice every time. So I'm not 100% saying he's going to fight and be a fighter, but he doesn't have a lot of natural ability in the mindset for it, you know? I'm hoping I could curve him and, like, get him to be an engineer or something, you know?
Bro, nobody could stop you.
No.
So he's got that gene.
You're never going to stop a fighter. Anybody that wants to fight, it doesn't matter who, what, and where they tell him not to, he's going to do it. Yeah. That's the thing about a fighter. You'll know because he will do it. Whether he's broke, rich, they will fight, you know, if they're meant to call for that, you know?
Listen, man, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. I'm looking forward to the party.
Now, shut the camera off because this motherfucker ain't going back home anytime soon. I'm going to get this guy, when he gets back to England, he's going to have lost like a month of life.
I'm going to have PTSD. I'm going to be shivering in my bed.
The good PTSD. The good PTSD.